Good evening, folks. Tonight, St. Anne's Parish in an uproar. Find out why on Basement Politics Unfiltered.
Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping.
I am Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Good evening, folks. Tonight, St. Anne's Parish, rising ground. That's right, folks. If you are up and joining me, thank you for joining me tonight. If you are watching at another date, tomorrow, good morning, good afternoon. I'm Freddy Vazquez. I was at the town hall tonight, and I'll be discussing that over at St. Anne's Parish, the church off Midland Avenue, I believe. I believe it's in District 4. It drew a large crowd. A lot of people came out. There were a lot of elected officials there. County Legislator David Tubiolo was there, as well as his dad, Justin Tubiolo, former Republican chair. Council member John Rubo, Council member Anthony Moranti, Council member Mike Breen, County Legislator Jim Nolan, and Ron Matten also was there. He was the candidate for city council president. And again, many folks from the area in attendance, as well as Freddy Vazquez. I was there. And I was there because I wanted to know what was going on. I had been hearing about, residents of the area upset about an organization called Rising Ground. Rising Ground is an organization that takes in, one part of what they do, and this just pertains to this particular issue, is they take migrant children that are coming to the border unaccompanied by an adult, and they're taking them and holding them, if for lack of a better word, until they are either reunited or united with family members that they had here in the States, or they have a sponsor, a foster parent. They're taken in as children, fairly young, many of them, and they are giving, certain services, medical treatment if needed, educational services, shelter, obviously, and any other therapeutic services that they may need resulting from any trauma or any mental health conditions they may have. They recently, Rising Ground has been looking at St. Anne's, the old Catholic school. Well, it's not that old, but it's been there for a while. However, it was shut down 2 years ago. And they were speaking with the archdiocese there and the parish for potential, location, a potential new location for this program. And the school they thought was a great location. The school is on, I'm not sure exactly the street, but it's off Midland Avenue, St. Anne's Catholic School. It was closed down 2 years ago. And that's something that left a bad taste in a lot of the area residents' mouth. I mean, they're still upset about it, very visibly. They're upset about the fact that they feel like their parish is kind of going down, hasn't been the same. And now this introduction, a possible introduction of this program where they are bringing migrant children, primarily from South America, in the middle pretty much of the parish and in the community there, is another sign of things that are coming, changes to come for that community that's been pretty much that way for a very long time. That's southeast Yonkers, I guess a little bit, or heading east, and I was there not too long ago, the St. Patrick's Day parade in that area, and I observed the community, very strong, tight-knit community. and they're very resistant to change. Not saying that's a negative or positive thing, just saying that they're very resistant to change, although they have seen changes and they are upset about many of the changes, and they feel like this is just going to further completely change their community and their identity. Members were upset, a lot of yelling. It was in a church, but they were so upset that people were yelling, although they did apologize. It just, sometimes people, your emotions get the best of you. It started out with the father speaking, the father, and also the council attorney for the archdiocese, which is a long-time Yonkers resident. Forgot the name, but they spoke. We started out with a prayer, which I thought was great, and then the CEO of the Rising Ground organization spoke. He did his best. He did his best to try to make the program, sound appealing to people, to the community there, or those who were in attendance. However, it did not really go well. They did listen respectfully. They let him speak. And then it got to the question part. And that's when things got a little bit, heated, a little bit loud. And I'm going to play a little bit of a clip from that, meeting here in a bit, show you kind of how it got. But, my opinion, me personally, you don't want to ever say, hey, I'm against kids, right? And I think that's where a lot of the supporters of it are also, are saying these are kids. They've been through a lot, and absolutely. And especially someone like, me, I'm always for the kids. But I'm like torn, and I tell you why. I and not that we shouldn't help, people, and that's not, we need to help people. We need to help people more than ever now. My only thing is that there's so much in terms of needs here for kids, and of all colors, specifically Latinos and Black kids, right, who are impoverished here in the city of Yonkers, who could benefit from programs like this as well. And and they might say, well, Freddie, there is programs like this, maybe, but there's also still a need, a huge need. And the community has a right, I think, to a certain extent, to kind of speak their mind and say how they want their community to be. I think all communities should be like that, whether it's white community, a Black community, a Hispanic community, or green community, whatever. And so I don't think they're wrong for that. I don't, it's tough because, again, it's, for me, I understand, about change. I've been speaking about the changes happening here in the city of Yonkers. We got all these developments going up, right? It's completely changing how Yonkers is going to be in the future, right? And the mayor had a State of the City address a few days ago, and he looked toward the bright future of Yonkers, right? So some people may like that. Some people may be looking forward to that, and for some people like me, changing the Yonkers completely, almost, with these taller buildings, a lot more people, it just takes a lot away from it, for me anyway, and it's not the same. And I can understand where they may be coming from with that. Some of their concerns were safety. They wanted to know, would this potentially present a safety issue for the community, a quality of life issue for the community? Would, some of the children or students attending the school, would they be, leaving campus and possibly vandalizing the neighborhood, as one woman said, and causing concerns? And what would the response of the archdiocese and the church be if that were the case? So I think people just really wanted to feel assured and comforted that their community was not going to change. But guess what? It's going to change. And whether you bring Rising Ground into that area or not, it's going to change. And it's not because of migrant children. It's not because of Hispanics in general or any other minority group. It's primarily because of the elected officials that you have voted for, who are changing the city largely, right? Because even the developments that they're bringing in is going to cause more crowding, even in your side. And you're going to have a lot of that come over to that side. And then you're going to start to see developments happen on that side. So whether you like it or not, folks, over there in the 4th District, Southeast, East Yonkers, you're going to see changes. It's coming, and a lot of it's not going to be from migrant children, if any at all. It's going to be from the elected officials who are moving forward full steam ahead with the developers. And that's going to bring a diverse group of people to that area, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. And there's nothing you can do. And you're going to have redistricting or going on. And so you have to adapt to these changes, right? And maybe, you have to think long term and just be careful how you resist that change, because it could follow you 10 years down the line. I want to show a clip here. The woman speaking here was in support of Rising Ground coming to the school there, St. Anne's. And also, she is a member of the community. She lived, as she said, within walking distance of the church there, and was also, a member of the school, the Catholic school, I guess, children, or maybe she at some point went there. So she said, I understand. I have that sense of loss as well. And I know that we've spoken about, because I guess the community as a whole has spoken about reopening the school for the children of the community there in that parish. It has not happened in 2 years. And she says it's not going to happen and we need to move forward. And as much as we hate to let go, or some of us do, I know I do, I hate to let go. I'm not big on change. You have to accept the change and you have to adapt to change. That's just how it is. Or you have to be careful who you vote for. I want to show this clip here from the meeting tonight. Again, it's a woman who's in support, and it got very heated. So I was going to play that there. And excuse the audio, I forgot my mic. Thank you. I'm sorry, are you not getting any sound there? Let me work on that. Oh, I got it now.
About 24 hours security.
So I'm going to play that again. I apologize. Thank you for alerting me to that. I do want you to hear what she had to say. Let her speak.
I'm a former St. Anne's parent, and there's a couple of us in here, and somebody made the suggestion that maybe
Are we good?
reopen the school for our former students. We're over that. We don't want that anymore. We moved on to other schools, and we moved on to other communities. Number two, these are children. These are children. Wherever it is that they have come from. Where do you live? Yeah, I live right down the street from here. Hold on a second.
Hold on, guys. Let her speak.
These are children. They are leaving a desperate situation where they are infants, 5-year-olds, 14-year-olds.
Just let her finish.
They are living in desperate situations where they are leaving their countries and taking the chance of traveling thousands of miles on their own to safety. And when they come here to this country, we have the honor and the privilege of being able to help them. And you're worried about 24-hour security? You're a Christian.
It is really getting tense and heated in here.
You should be wanting to help them.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It's children.
Ladies and gentlemen,
James Nolan there.
Guys. So many of you have come from other countries, and your parents, and your grandparents, and your great-grandparents have come from other countries.
Segregation 2022 here in the city of Yonkers. Let's talk about it on Basement Politics tonight.
ladies and gentlemen.
You know, I'm gonna stop it there. I don't want to. It got heated. It got pretty heated. People were very upset. You know, as I'm watching that, what I started to think of was the show on HBO, Show Me a Hero. I'm not sure if any, probably all of you have seen the mini docu series there based on the desegregation case of 1988 here in the city of Yonkers. There was a scene in the show that was very similar to that, actually. And as I'm watching it back, I was reminded of it. I'm sure that everyone there are good people. I don't want to say anyone there, look, I want to be positive, right? And again, we have to think about how Yonkers is going to move forward. We are going to change. It's a fact. It's going to change on that side, and that will be the last stronghold, but it will change. You're going to have developments. You got the Metro North line there. Look at, what is it, 16 Courtney, 14 Courtney Place. You're going to have more developments like that going up. So it's going to change, so I don't know. What do you guys have to say? What do you think? I mean, do you agree? Do you disagree? Again, this is in regards to Rising Ground looking to lease the St. Anne's Catholic School off Midland Avenue. I believe that's District 4. Community members turning out there to voice their opinions, both in support and not in support of it. Some wondering why bring it to here, to Yonkers. Is there not anywhere else you could have looked? Some people have suggested White Plains. And in my mind, when I heard that, when somebody said, why don't you go to White Plains? There's plenty of place. I said, I could only imagine White Plains, a group of people doing the same thing. Why are you coming to White Plains? Go to Yonkers, right? Like somebody once told me when I was a kid and we rode our bikes, and mind you, I was with some white kids also, and we rode our bikes into Hastings, and there was an elderly man sitting on a bench, and we stopped to go into the store there, and the guy asked where we were from, and we said Yonkers, and he said, why don't you go back to that shithole? That's what he told us. This was in the 90s. Is Yonkers still segregated? Is Yonkers still very much a city that harbors racism and discrimination? And I've spoken about that. I've mentioned that when it comes to the developments, how they're segregating the low-income and affordable housing. That's absolutely what they're doing. Are we going to see segregation 2022? Right? Maybe the schools may not be segregated, but housing most certainly will. And that's something that they can get away with in a way. It's harder to segregate schools than to, to keep schools segregated than it is to keep housing. Because, you can say, oh, well, we're going to build it here, build it there. But obviously, if you're putting all kids of minority in one area, it's going to show. But it's happening with the developments. And I'm being told that's District 6. Okay, I'm sorry, District 6. That's Anthony Moranti's district. He was there. I did speak to Moranti. I said, hey, Moranti, way to go for driving your own vehicle. He said, I know a lot of people respect me for that. I told him to watch Ukraine on Fire, a documentary by Oliver Stone that came out in 2019. I think everyone should watch it if you're interested in the Ukraine-Russia situation there. He had the Ukrainian color pin on his thing, which is why I mentioned it. John Rubo showed up, again, James Nolan, who stood up there to try to calm the crowd down. It got very heated. Some people were upset. The woman there said, you know, I'm a parent of a student that went to St. Anne's Catholic School, and we spoke about opening it up again, but it didn't happen. And that's been 2 years. So we have to move forward. And we've moved on from that. We've moved on from that, she said. And someone from the back said, we, who's we? We didn't move on from that. You know, we're still here with it, you know. So you know, it's very much a strong sentiment of, you know, folks that just don't want that change. And this meeting again tonight, it reminded me of the show Show Me a Hero, a scene from there when everybody's going crazy over the judge deciding to, you know, ruling to desegregate the schools and housing in Yonkers. So, yeah, it was very interesting. Again, you know, I don't want to say anyone was bad there. You know, all good people, I'm sure, and everyone has their reasons. I'm trying to stay positive, you know. But that's what's happening there. They are circulating a petition. He was attacked at the end. Video on my Facebook. Oh yeah, they attacked the CEO. And you know, I thought it was interesting because the CEO was not obviously, but I can tell he, you know, I've done business with a lot of Jewish individuals. He was Jewish. He's in a Catholic church, and he looked a little weird. He felt a little uncomfortable. But yeah, I mean, you could see his face. I'm going to show you some shots of his face. He was just like, wow, you know, like, I can't believe this is happening. I'm going to share this video here. Oh, wow. This is some good video here, Carolyn. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to share this video that was shared to me by Carolyn. I appreciate it. Hold on. Give me a second, folks. Mr. Moranti. Hey, buddy. What's going on there? Let's take a look at what Moranti was doing. Entire screen there. Boom. I'll press. Let me see. Did I get the order? I just want to make sure that I'm sharing with the sound. My apologies. Hopefully, I can hire someone one day to help me with the technical stuff, so I don't have to do this on my own. You know, and not make so many mistakes.
You should know what you're talking about before you say it.
Oh, I do, Anthony.
You don't.
I do.
You don't, because when that shop was brought to my attention, I went to the mayor and I went to the protest. I said, yeah, we can put over there the depot across the street in masterpiece style. No, we have no idea. By law, by right, those people wanted there. I had no say in that. If I had, that place would not be there. I'll tell you that right now.
Anthony,
I'm telling you that right now.
no. You know what? You're my representative, so listen to me.
Go ahead.
You're my representative. I voted for you.
Thank you very much.
Because you're mostly pro-life. That's why I voted for you.
Thank you.
But I will say this. This is not against someone.
Okay.
Okay? You're helping to ignite division in our community.
Nope.
Okay? And you know what? Without the facts, and the thing is that you could have done that, you did that here. You could have done that, you could have notified the community that this is coming into your community, but you didn't. I didn't hear about it. I'm just community and an activist.
No, hold on. You're talking about this. You're talking about this.
No, I'm talking about you're igniting the people of God.
Let's talk about St. Anne's. Let's talk about St. Anne's. So if you want to pay attention, there are a lot of people. Okay, so what happened? Listen to Mike.
There go the Nolans.
So let me just explain. Let's have the anatomy of what happened as far as how we found out. Okay? Because I only found out 6 weeks ago when this man called me up at 9:30 on Saturday night because someone called him up because he was putting the church bulletin. What's going on with St. Anthony? Rising Ground. He told me came to life. So with that spark being lit, okay, Jimmy and I had a meeting graciously with Father Norton. Mr. Salvatore got on the phone with us and told us what was going on with the whole situation. Okay? So that was the first that we're hearing of this thing. Okay? So now we have to let this thing come to light. So as far as I want to speak ahead for one second. The reason I didn't put that on social media and stuff like that is because a couple of the members of the community, who by the way got how many signatures you got? How many signatures you got?
want to say it's 250.
250 signatures were gathered, okay? I had nothing to do with it, okay? I brought it to the folks that I know. And by the way, if you folks don't know, 4 people in your community went out and made a list of hundreds, dozens of questions, okay? So the point of that here, the community did know about this. There's 250 signatures, Michelle. There's 250 signatures.
Moranti against the community, his constituents.
The community, so it went out.
Should have voted for Tim.
We wanted to make sure that the community invited who they wanted to be here. I didn't want no outsiders coming into this place, because once you put it on social media, it's open to everybody.
Well, it's on social media now, buddy.
Well, again, so let me ask something. Okay, so
You define community.
St. Anne's. Yeah. St. Anne's.
It's parishioners.
Did you hear what that?
By what?
Did you hear what that gentleman said a little while ago?
Why has he done what he said?
Father, will you do me a favor?
Wow.
Father, will you do me a favor? Was not the announcement that something was happening in the church bulletin?
But that's the church.
Father, so that means
church.
Excuse me. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Wow, this is incredible, folks.
Councilman, sir.
The woman he's going back and forth with is a realtor from White Plains, or White Plains realtor.
Councilman.
Really quick, the woman there with the red sweater stood up earlier and said that her family had migrated there from Italy and Greece, and that, you know, she came here, you know, they did it the right way, something to that effect, and that over the years she's seen the church go downhill. They don't have the Italian mass anymore. The Italian community there is changing for her people. You know, so look, everybody has their pride, their sense of pride for their ethnicity, their race, and I get that, you know, but I just want to give you a little backstory on that.
Still our community.
250 people signed the petition, and I left it.
God loves us
I
whether we
left
come
it,
to church
I
every
left
day
it
or
to the
not.
community to inform the community. Okay? So now you got a lot of answers. You all got a lot of
No,
answers.
we still are electing answers. We're electing transparency and communication from the church.
Thank you. So, okay.
And this is why we don't come anymore.
Ooh.
Because we lack communication and transparency from this church.
Wow, look at Moranti.
And you want to know why this church isn't growing? You want to know why people are upset with this church? Because when we come to you with our concerns, we're not met with love, we're not met with grace. Father, Maureen, yes, we have, but the Archdiocese, we have blank stares from you. We're
That's
not met
everybody,
with
girl.
apologies, we're not met with open communication.
And people still aren't even seeing.
That's every district.
A lot of people don't want to still come to church with COVID. My mother doesn't come to church with COVID, but I bet you they come tonight.
So, you know what? And you know what?
Community, not the
And
church.
let me say that, that's a cop out, because I am here representing my mother, who has lymphedema and cannot come to church in person. And I'm here representing her because she cannot be here in person. She is unable to be here in person. And she's a resident and has always been to Sunday Mass for the past 50 years.
That's Mike Breen's head.
I told her,
My neighbors.
I got
Exactly what's supposed to happen. That's exactly the way it worked out.
But she didn't know because she hasn't been to Mass.
But you said you were gonna send us something. You said when we were in that last
Like,
meeting.
this church has always
Wow.
lived in envelopes, and she has always gone into Father Carrozza's office and given him money, cash, on a regular basis. Had a mass for my father. He gave $500 for his mass when he died. When her mother died in Italy, gave $500 to do a little mass for her sister. And that's okay.
That guy was very vocal.
So I want you to know that statement. I promise you, I will say.
Let's hear what the father has to say.
We heard all of your concerns. I also want to go and say to you that, and I hope that there are people here who back me up. You're gonna say, you call me, you still have a question, you still have a concern, you still have a statement, I promise you, I will return every phone call that comes to me. No decision.
The father's in a bad spot. The father's in a bad spot, right? Because the church wants to make money. At the end of the day, the archdiocese, the guy in the blue suit there, the tall guy that you may have seen quickly was standing up in the front there, he's the attorney for the archdiocese. And the father here is in a bad spot because he has to be the one that does the mass on Sundays and see the people every day and gets the calls from the community. Not the guy in the blue suit or the cardinals or bishops or whatever ranks and however there goes, right? So you could see the stress on his face. I felt bad for the father. You know, he couldn't even control it and calm it, down. And none of the elected officials did anything to calm it down. In fact, Moranti, you should have not gone back and forth with anyone there. You should have said, you know what? I apologize. We can speak at it at a later date. Please call my office and I will speak to you then. Let's keep it to whatever, that would have been the appropriate thing to do. That's the thing about you guys on the city council, right? You guys lose it, your emotions, and I'm kind of a guy like that sometimes too, but I know when to chill, right? But you guys don't. I would have never done that. I would have never said, let's get it popping, Thank God the majority leader wasn't there. I mean, who knows what would have happened if that was the case, right? So Moranti, that wasn't a great move. You should have just chilled. Now went back and forth with anybody, especially a woman. A woman, even though you didn't say anything like a curse or nothing like. But I always, with a woman, like you're just gonna get loud with the woman in church, really, Moranti? Like I don't know if that's a good look. I mean, you guys should have voted for Tim. Should have voted for Tim. Tim would have never got loud with the woman in church. Okay. Tim would have never did that. I know that for a fact. Tim barely gets loud when you tell him to speak up. Just kidding, Tim. Tim's a very nice guy. But yeah, so I just think that was a wrong move. You saw the back of Breen's head. He was no good. You see Rubo there. He looked like he just wanted to hide and be a wallflower and blend in with the wall. Like, oh man, I don't even want to be here. David Tubiolo was in the back. His father, Justin Tubiolo, former chair of the Republican Party, spoke very politely. He was very respectful. But the woman you saw there, one of them was a White Plains realtor. She's the one that said, there's plenty of commercial spaces in White Plains. Why don't you take it there? So again, people are just upset. I get it, though. I understand. If you grew up there, that's your family. So, and don't get say, Freddy, but I know it's kids. I get that, too. You have to, in order for us to be able to get along, we have to understand each other's side to a certain extent. We do. We can't just expect everybody to just see it all the way my way or see it all the way your way. It's not going to ever work that way. That's called compromise, right? That's what we do in marriages, right? So we have to compromise to a certain extent and understand and be sympathetic. But we also have to be sympathetic to the children and to what they're doing there to try to better the world, I guess, and to help the children who are coming here, right, that may be otherwise put in a bad situation. So I don't know what the answer is. I personally don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. You guys know? Can you guys tell me? I only found out when residents will soon show up with pitchforks after so many excuses. She was kind and compassionate woman. At the end, a teacher from Spelman spoke and stated that he did not like the politicians dividing the community. Oh, is that who Moranti was speaking to in the beginning of that video? Yeah, I mean, again, that's true. I mean, you are causing division because maybe they shouldn't have promoted this event, right? He talks about keeping it out of social media, but who were the ones that put it on social media? I mean, I'm just saying. And I'm not saying that was bad or right. I'm just saying he spoke about that. And that's why I was there. I mean, I would have been notified anyway, but that's why I was there. And I thought it was an important thing to cover. So, look, I don't know. I don't know what's up with the sex shop on Central Avenue. A man verbally attacked Moranti. Is that what's that thing called? I see it all the time. I drive past it every day. I'm trying to get my wife to go in there with me. What's that? I forgot what it's called. Just kidding. My wife would not be caught dead in the parking lot, let alone inside. But I have joked, hey, babe, let's go inside there. And that thing is always open, day and night. Who would go in there? I'd be embarrassed. Just saying. Anyway, folks, that was the meeting there. Yeah, so it's called I forgot what it's called, that sex shop. They have lingerie, you got to keep spice things up in the bed, huh, couples? Right now? I don't know. But I do see it open. See, from time to time a car or two. I would definitely be super embarrassed to go anywhere near that place. Like, that's just me. But anyway, yeah, there you have it, folks. That's the town hall meeting over there in District 6. Moranti, I don't think you're going to ever get reelected or elected for anything after this again. You lost the people. You lost the people. Yeah, you lost the people, I think. Hopefully a lot of you guys will get reelected. Hopefully we'll get all new people. But anyway, folks, thank you for joining me. Hopefully they can work things out. I'll give you an update on that. I'm not sure what was decided. I guess they have to go back. They have to really consider everything. I mean, there was strong opposition. So the parish has to, that's their congregation, right? And at the end of the day, if the parish doesn't have a congregation, it doesn't matter. They don't have nothing. And I don't know, will Rising Ground be able to sustain the parish, or will the parish eventually end up just leaving out of the area altogether, leaving those buildings for sale to whoever, like they recently did over there on McLean, further down McLean, where they put the new school building, or they're building that. That was a church, right? And they knocked that down. And then also up in Nodine Hill section on Walnut and Elm Street, they turned that church into a still in progress, still in construction community center, right? Is it a community center for kids who are interested in construction and be in the construction industry? I'm just asking, because it's still got the construction stuff there. And I thought it was open. You guys spent $1 million. It's not open yet. I'm just saying. So anyway, yeah, they're converting these churches to different things. And maybe that's what might end up happening. But folks over there in District 6 and even in District 4, it's going to change. It's just, there's nothing you could do about it. They'll even look, they're even trying to change the zoning, right? To where single family zonings don't even exist anymore. You can put multi-families and up anywhere. They try to change that, and they will come back with it. Trust me. It's only a test run every time. And then they pull back, then they come back again. And each time they take an extra inch until they take the whole thing. So that's what's going to end up happening there. So it's going to change, folks. The only thing you can do about it is vote, and vote the right individuals in. I think that what we have seen, at least in my tenure in this Yonkers political stuff, which hasn't been long, that things need to change. And all these individuals, for the most part, majority of them, need to not be elected again. You have to start fresh. And I think you folks on the East Side, District 4, District 6, District 1, 2, and 3, I think we all have our issues with the elected officials. And I think we all should be on almost the same page, at least on that, if anything else, right? We should have that in common at this point, if anything else. And maybe us districts need to come together and say, hey, we have to work together, because district leaders, or I should say district council members from each district, do impact other districts, even though they don't represent that district. So it's really important that we all pay attention to who's elected in the various council member positions, regardless if you live in that district or not. So that means the people have to come together, because whatever your issue is, you have one, and it's with the same individuals. So it's time to unite. And the Hispanics, we're going to be united. That's right, folks. Listen up to all the Latinos out there. We're going to be uniting. We start bringing us together. Whatever differences we may have, we're going to hash it out. We may have one of those town hall meetings just like that, and we might be yelling. We probably do that anyway, because that's how we talk, right? So we're going to hash this, whatever. We need to come together. Minor differences put to the side. We have a common goal. We are very influential, and we have to leverage that. And I intend to unite us here in the city and do just that. And the sellouts will be called out. Oh, you best believe I'm going to call you out. You're not going to divide us anymore for your own benefit. And you know who you are. you absolutely know who you are. So either get down or lay down, because you ain't going to beat us. So you might as well join us. I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics, and I am a proud Latino. I'm a proud Puerto Rican, and I love Yonkers, and I want to see us all do well. I don't care if you're Italian, Puerto Rican, Black, whatever you are. Let's do it together, folks. Thank you for joining me tonight. It's time we create unity, because there's a whole lot of division. Peace out.
Let's get it popping.
Thank you for joining me tonight. I am Freddy Vazquez. That was Basement Politics episode number, I don't even freaking know, but St. Anne's Parish meeting, Rising Ground. Thank you for joining me. Folks, please take into consideration what I say in terms of the unity stuff. That I surely mean, and I want to see us all work toward that goal, because that is how we make Yonkers better. That's how we do it, together. So my Latinos, I truly mean that. And I will be reaching out, and I have already reached out. So join me. Vote in more ways for transparency and clear communication. People need to talk more. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for your comments, Catherine. Thank you, Carolyn. I appreciate that. Thank you, Catherine, for letting me know that the sound was off. And folks, if you ever hear the sounds off, please let me know right away. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I'm Freddy Vazquez. Peace.
Freddy wins. Fatality. Freddy wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddy Vazquez. Come on, give it to us straight. Come on, give it to us straight.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vazquez.
Freddy wins. Fatality. Game over.
No!